Hey, everybody. How are you? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Mike and Sahi coming straight from our home. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. First of all, we wanna thank God Almighty, for this amazing blessing. Want to thank Steve and Gina Merritt for bringing this opportunity to our lives. Want to thank Onyx Coale for bringing this to Steve and Gina. And also, I want to thank them for trusting us and having us pour into you. I hope everybody can hear me. Let me know. You are a co-host now. Let me know. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. Thank you very much, David. Wonderful, wonderful. So, guys, we are so fired up about this opportunity. My goodness.
Yes.
So, I know that Steve and Gina, I know that Onyx and everybody, they're in Costa Rica. We made it 1 week short. So you know what? Things happen for a reason. I guess we're meant to be here today, pouring into you guys. So guys, we're gonna get right into it because I know an hour goes by really, really quick, and we have a whole lot to share, and we're excited about sharing with you guys. So I think that before we get started, I think it's very important for some of you, for all of you, to know our story. I know some of you know our story from the past. And make sure, some of you know our story from the past, and a lot of you are new, don't know much about Sahi and I. And before we pour into you, before we kind of share our mindset with you, I think it's important for you to know who we are, where we come from, in order for you to understand why we approach this business the way we do, which is part of the secret why we've been able to have the kind of success that we've had. Not to mention, the fact that we've been able to follow leaders like Steve and Gina Merritt in the past, and now Onyx Coale, that are people that I see a lot of similarities with the way we approach and our mindset. And truth be told, guys, we've been able to meet a lot of leaders in this industry, a lot of multi-seven-figure earners like we are. And one thing that we noticed is that our mindset is what we have in common, the way we think, the way we approach things. So before we start, guys, I want you to know a little bit about Sahi and I, right? Sahi and I, we know, a lot of you now know, we recently celebrated 31 years of anniversary. I met her when she was 12 and I was 15. I can explain that. I'm not going to do that today. I swore she was introduced to me like if she was 15 years old. But the truth is, we are high school dropouts. She went back, she got her GED. I never did, right? And so that means we've struggled. Guys, we struggle financially. And I think it's important for you to understand our story, because sometimes we're judged by the fact that, oh, you guys have had success in this industry, and it's easy for you guys to, do what you've done now. Well, truth is, I've been in your position, right? I was introduced to network marketing. We were introduced to network marketing back in 2006. And in 2006, we didn't know what this industry was all about, right? And everyone we spoke to laughed at us, and none of our friends and family members, paid attention to us. But that didn't let us get discouraged. Yeah, that didn't let us get discouraged, right? Or break us. So first of all, you need to know that right before I got introduced to network marketing through Steve and Gina, guys, we were born and raised in New York City. All right. She was pregnant at the age of 17. And I don't know how that happened, but I'm glad that it did. I really love our son. We only have one son now. And we moved to Florida about 24 years ago, guys. And when we came here, we didn't have a pot to piss in. And I usually say that prior to getting involved with network marketing, we couldn't afford to pay attention. But let me expand a little bit on that. Sahi and I, we were at a point where we could only afford to eat tuna fish, right? And this was part of our story back in our first company. And the reason why we could only afford to eat tuna fish was because I found someone who would sell us gift cards from Walgreens, right? Kmart, thank you. Back then. For like 50% of the price. So at Kmart, they didn't sell steak and they didn't sell, fish and whatever, but we ate tuna fish. And the truth be told, that when we first came here to Florida, born and raised in New York City, when we came here 24 years ago, my mom and Sahi's mom, they were cleaning for wealthy people. They were cleaning for people that lived in the type of communities where we now live. And Sahi and I, entrepreneurs, right, struggling, but never entrepreneurial spirit, we used to go to the swap shop in Fort Lauderdale. And at the beginning, we were going to New York, buying brand name clothing in the garment district, brand name stuff that we felt we can sell over there. So shoes, we're trying to sell shoes for 20, 25 bucks that were worth
like $200, $300 a pair, even
right?
more.
So guys, we were there and we spent 1 weekend, 2 weekends, 3 weekends, and we were lucky if we sold 4 or 5 pairs throughout the first month. And I would look to the left and look to the right. I'm like, I don't get it. These people are selling garbage. Bing, right? Light bulb. And what we did was we told our parents, we said, hey, mom, both our moms, so we're cleaning for wealthy people. We said, listen, tell the people that you work for that anything that they're going to throw away, don't throw it away. It could be used socks with holes, shoes, whatever they're going to throw away. Tell them to give it to you because we think we can sell that stuff here. And they gave them, a bunch of stuff and we took it to the swap shop and oh my God, we were killing it. We were crushing it, right? But they weren't supplying as much stuff as we needed to, get by. So long and behold, we noticed that when we picked up my mom and her mom in these beautiful communities on Thursdays or Tuesdays and Saturdays were the garbage days. And we noticed that in these beautiful communities, people were throwing away nice things, tabletops, chairs, strollers, electronics, TVs,
toys.
So we were literally dumpster diving. Okay, Sahi and I, before we got introduced to this industry, we were going into the garbage, picking stuff up and selling it at the swap shop out here in Fort Lauderdale. And then we started going into different communities, right? Because we wanted, we got to the point where we were earning how much per week?
Every time that we go,
it was a weekend, right?
It was a weekend. We'll go like on Saturday and Sunday, and we try to be in the front. It was like $600, sometimes $400
per day.
Like
so in a weekend, we would make like about almost $1,000.
Yeah,
right. But
sometimes
guys,
it was more, sometimes it was less, but overall, that was what we would make.
So it got to the point where my mom and her mom were also dumpster diving. Even my son, how old was he?
It was it was right before, I think like 8
years old. My
7,
son
8.
was going to the garbage with us and picking out his stuff, and he had his own little spot in the swap shop. He's like, hey, whatever I sell here was mine, right? We taught our son as a young age with whatever we had to be entrepreneurial. I remember as he got older, we would buy him candy, send him to school with 2 book bags, 1 book bag full of candy, 1 book bag full of books. And he would come back, and how much would he sell?
Oh my gosh, he was making $100 a day, $50. It depended. Like the teachers got aware of it and they were like, no more. And then they started selling candy. Yeah, they took it away from
they stole my son's business
so that they can steal his idea and then do it themselves.
But my point with this, or with all this, guys, is that you need to understand who we are. Sometimes you guys look at us like, oh, these guys are professional network marketers. Yeah, now at this point, we've made millions of dollars, but it's because how we approach this opportunity when we saw it. I don't know, what challenges you've dealt with, but I believe that everything we dealt with prepared us for this business, because like I said, I'm still am a high school dropout. I still don't have a GED. So when I saw this industry, to me, it was my ticket. For me, this was going to be my education. So I didn't take it lightly. I went to every seminar. I listened to every Zoom, and everything that the professionals were saying to do, I made it a thing to do. This was going to be my university. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, that even though I am a high school dropout, even though I've never been to school, okay, I have a PhD in people today because of how much time I've invested in this industry. I have a PhD in people, and I have an MBA. MBA is a massive bank account because of how I've been able to hit this business. So what I've learned is people. And look, I got so many notes. I'm sorry, baby. I'm going in today, guys. And it's important for us to share our story, because I want you to understand that my aggression, all right, and how I'm going to come off today, my excitement comes because of where we are. My enthusiasm and my passion comes from the fear of our life going back to where we were, because it's vivid. We go to eat every single weekend at a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, and every single weekend we drive right by the
swap shop.
the swap shop. All right.
Yeah.
So it's vivid. And I tell her, I remember like yesterday crossing this street. I remember like yesterday pulling up to these places at 4:30 in the morning because we wanted a good spot. Right. And I don't want to think about that because it'll easily put a tear in my eye. But I thank God for that because that's why we are where we are today. So I have a PhD in people, guys. And what I've learned is that this is a people business. And this is the deal, guys. I've learned how to identify the right people and how to identify the wrong people. I've learned that we run with the right people and we run from the wrong people. All right. Sometimes we can't spend time. We can't change people. Guys, I will tell you right now, my brothers know of our success. My brothers know that we've made millions and millions and millions of dollars. He knows that we've helped people make millions of dollars. He knows that we have this house here. He knows that I put my mom in my old house and that we take care of our parents. And listen, they didn't get involved in our business, in our first business, up until we had made a couple $1 million, okay? In our first business, the company came out with something that was called a millionaires list, right? The Millionaires Club. And I remember when we first hit our first million, and I told them, I said, guys, we made $1 million. What are you guys waiting for? Yeah, even though I'm not known as a fibber, I'm not known as a liar. They know I'm just straight up. They didn't believe it for whatever reason, right? Guys, I've made $1 million. What are you guys waiting for? You want to work the rest of your life? No, whatever. Leave them alone. A year after I told them, they finally came up with the Millionaires Club and they came out with this beautiful magazine. And one day I pull up to their house and I pull up with this magazine. I say, oh, look at this beautiful magazine. Look, Millionaires Club. Wow, isn't this interesting? Wow, look at all these beautiful people. Look at those big smiles. And then I turn to my page and Sahi, look at these guys right here. And they tell me, oh my God, Mike, you made $1 million? And we told them, no, you fools, we made 2 million. $1 million was last year when we told you, right? And that's when they got involved. And I'm going to tell you right now, this year, 4 months ago when we got involved, I called them up and I told them, listen, guys, I'm going to tell you one time, we're getting involved with something bigger than we did in the past. With what we did in the past, we're going to duplicate. We've made 5 million. We're going to make 10 millions in this business now. Yes, and I'm going to tell you one time and never again are you going to hear me say these words again. This is the company. This is what I'm doing. It's up to you if you want to join. Guys, my brothers have not joined. I have never mentioned it again. We're making 5 figures a week right now. I am not telling them what's going on. They ask my mom, but I won't tell them anymore because I understand they're not the right people. All right. And if they're okay with working, you know, they went to school, they're smart people. I don't know. I think they're too smart for their own good. But I understand that we run with the right people and we run from the wrong people. I'm not going to sit there and try and turn those people around.
You can't get attached to people that are saying no. They got to see you run and they got to see your enthusiasm and they got to see that they're not going to be able to break you no matter what because you're convicted. You have this conviction that this product is amazing. You have the cookie in your hand. So nobody can break you. And if you go out there bulletproof, those people are going to continue seeing you. They're like, man, these people are not stopping. They're continuing, you know, and they're going to regret not getting in or they're going to get into your business at some point or another. But you just got to think there's too many people in this world. Too many people in your city, too many people in your country, too many people in your
world.
In the world, for there not to be enough people that will tell you yes. And with those people that tell you yes, you're gonna help them find their yeses too. And that's the way this works. It's just a matter of timing and a matter of numbers. If people stay with that mindset, it will happen for you. You just cannot compare yourself. I read something that really resonated with me. And it was like, comparison is the thief of personality. Be you. Be you. You have a gift that God gave you. Be yourself. Go out there and just be excited about what you have in your hands. And don't let anybody speak into your life, especially people that don't have what you want. You right. Gotta stick and hang around with those people that are winning, that are successful, that, you know, you gotta keep on reading books and you know, going through self-development, because even if that doesn't help you in this business, like I have a little story. I don't wanna take you off track, but yesterday we were doing a podcast and it was with some people that we had worked in the past before, you know, and when he was talking to us and you know, asking us questions, he also mentioned, he was like, you know, guys, I owe a lot to you guys for the way I am today, because in that business, you know, it just made me be successful in so many ways. Like all the conventions, all the meetings, all the self-development, all that, you know, all that I did just helped me in all the businesses in my life. So you gotta think, even if this is not the business that makes you successful, that helps you for so many things in your life. It's gonna change your life. You know, it's like we saw our son. We wanted to do this for our son. We got in our past business. It put us in the position to be able to build a studio for our son, and you know, put him in the right positions to win. Have him mingle with the people that were also winning in the industry that he wanted to be in. And you know what? Now we see him a man. We see him. He's a producer, a Grammy-winning producer. Two Grammys this year. He won this year. And he's just doing amazing. We see him in interviews. We see him in billboards. In billboards. We see him, you know, negotiating deals and just being. And we're like, wow, you know, we see a lot of those things that you know that we incorporated. We incorporated. Like we see ourselves in him, because he saw that we didn't get discouraged, because he saw that we kept on going no matter what, how he saw people and laughing at us and saying like, yeah, that's not gonna work and whatever. Like he saw that, so that built him also to be bulletproof. And now, you know, that music industry is tough. Yep. It's tough, but he has that you know, that shield like in him, that nothing's gonna tear him down. And that's the reasons why he's been successful. So don't make your children an excuse. Make them a reason, because they're watching you. Yep. They're watching you.
And he was upset when we first started, because I took all the time away that I spent with him, and I went to do something else. And at the time, he was very disappointed. He didn't even like hearing the name of the company. Today, he's grateful, and he understands, and he thanks us for us going what we did, because his life, he is today where he is because of the sacrifices we made. Yep. So we made him the reason why we did it, not the excuse why we couldn't. Post Malone recorded 2 songs in this house where we live today, because the studio that we built him. Big stars have come here and built and recorded here. But you know what? One of the things you just reminded me, one of the toughest things that we had to do when we started was get away from the people that we hung around with every single day. Yep. We were around our friends, his friends, and those are people that were complaining, weren't happy in life like we were, but they weren't willing to get up and do something. Yep. So it was the toughest thing, having to get away from those people and come around people like us, right? Make new friends, people who had the same vision, same ambition. But thank God, because you know what, we look back and those people are in the same place where we left them years ago. But hey, it's because they chose to stay there. But something you say that relates to this is, you know, it's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. It is a numbers game. You're going to patch enough people up. You're going to talk to enough people. Like I said before, there's enough people in the world and in your city and your area that, you know, you can talk to, and then there's going to be a time, maybe not in your timing, is in God's timing, it's going to happen. People are going to say yes. They're going to see that fire. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, enthusiasm and excitement is contagious. If you know you have the cookie, listen, nobody's going to tell you no. Yeah. So that's how we approached it. And so it's no secret. One of the things is there's no secret in doing this. Yeah. It's mindset and just being bulletproof and willing to go out there and do the work.
We built the business, guys, initially in our first company with people we didn't know. Those people we knew came later after they saw our success. The people who are watching you, that you're talking to, that you think you're dependent on to build them, they're going to come later once they see you succeed. Once they see you build traction, like, oh man, they're almost hoping this doesn't work for you. Because if it works for you, they're going to have to get off their butt and follow you, because they want what you're going to get. Trust me, all right? So one thing that you need to understand, guys, is that you're not going to convince everyone. You're not going to convince anyone, all right? Your job is not to convince everyone. Your job is to not allow anyone to convince you that this is not real, that you can't do this, guys. That's the biggest thing. I can approach anyone. People will suck the life out of you if you let them, but you can. That's why Sahi says we got to go in there and go bulletproof. Everyone that we knew was telling us, no. Oh, telling us a whole bunch of things we didn't know about the industry, right? Oh, because they focus. As soon as you talk to someone and they go in there and they come back to you, they're like, oh, you know what? I read this and I read that, all the scams and this. It tells me what they're looking for. They're looking for the excuse why they're not going to do this. And then they're going to try and discourage you. Whatever they're saying is going to affect them, not me. So.
And then you're going to be laughing your way to the bank. Like, ha, 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 see? Watch what I'm gonna do with this.
So so again,
that's the
it's a
approach.
PhD in people. We're talking about people here, right?
Mhm.
So I've learned that there's 4 personality types, right? And I have the thing here. I took a picture the other night. So there's 4 personality types. And again, this is all through books that I'm reading. All right. So you got to make it. I left school because I didn't like to read. So look right here, the 4 colors, right? You're going to identify if the person is red, if they're blue, if they're green or whatever. And it just means like people like me, I fit under the red, right? I'm competitive, I'm demanding, I'm determined, I'm strong-willed, I'm purposeful. That's me. But we're going to come across people that are sociable, that are dynamic, that are demonstrative, that are enthusiastic, persuasive. Then there's the green, caring, encouraging, sharing. So we learn to talk to people differently according to what they are. This is a people business. You're going to learn people, guys. All right. And listen, you can't get bitter. You got to get better. All right. We weren't good at this in the beginning, but we made it a thing to get better, right? Because we saw people who were winning, and we just need to learn that this is a profession, the profession that's generated more millionaires than any other industry in the history of the world. Multi-level marketing.
And we want a piece of it. And you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Nothing's going to come to your house and knock on your door and be like, come here, here's the people for you. It's not nothing, no business, nothing that you do in life that's success, that's going to make you successful, that's going to have any goodness. It's going to come that way. So you just got to go out there and get it.
It's all about attitude, guys. This business is built from here to here. It's all mindset, okay? Another thing is this. This business, the business easy. All right, I've learned that this business becomes very easy when you talk to sharp people. Sometimes the only thing you're doing wrong is you're not talking to the right quality of people. We don't prejudge, we don't pre-qualify, but we need to identify when we talk to people. You just need to up your ante. Go out there, guys, and go to different places. Sometimes, you know, even in the Bible, you know, Jesus had to leave his area. And I forgot what they say. You can't be whatever in your town. Sometimes you just got to go out there and talk to sharp people, guys. You got to
Elevate.
Yeah, you got to elevate.
And you can't be the smartest person in the room either. If you're the smartest person in the room, you got to get out of there, because there's no growth. You know, you want to always be able to grow and you know, do better. But
it's all quality. It's not quantity, it's quality, guys. So you need to get comfortable talking to sharper people, because I'm telling you right now, the people who bring you down, they're not sharp people, because people who are successful in life are always going to try and build you up. All right. And I'm going to just say this, and this is something I told Sahi. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but maybe some of you can relate, right? I tell Sahi, listen, when David Schmidt comes out with a patch for stupid, we're going to be billionaires, because unfortunately, guys, there's a lot of, you know, not so smart people out there. And, you know, we just can't get affected by that. We're going out there. We're looking for sharp people. So look, another thing about this business, it's about time. All right. You got to give yourself time, but you got to invest time, guys, because you need to understand time is a commodity. All right. Time is the biggest commodity we have. You either waste time or you invest time. If you waste time, if you waste money, it's done. You're not going to get anything out of it. If you invest time like you invest money, you're going to have enough time to do everything you want to do. All right. Today, this is what we do full time, right? We've been able to free ourselves financially because of how much time we invested in this industry, getting better, talking to people, and, you know, doing the do's. All right. But here's the deal, write this down. We all have 168 hours in 1 week. We all have the same amount of time. There's no excuses. You can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. I approach myself, guys, I'm the toughest person on myself. So I'll tell you, right? I am a go-getter because I beat myself up. I look myself in the mirror and I put myself in check. All right. I don't take excuses for myself. That's why I'm a very disciplined person, because guys, no one is going to force you like you can force yourself to be the best you can be. If you need someone else to always be telling you, listen, it's great to get someone who's who can be
hold you accountable,
get an accountable partner. That's great. but it's great when it comes from within, because you are so determined to do what it is you want for your family and your,
and if you're not that way, it's okay to find somebody that has your weaknesses, that their strength are your weaknesses, because like that you feed off each other. Don't go with somebody that's just gonna be as weak as you, and then you just be complacent in wherever you are. You just gotta always, find, you can get there. You can get there, but you gotta make it a thing to get there,
So back to this, guys. Everyone has 168 hours per week, right? You trade 40 hours for dollars. On average, everyone trades 40 hours of your week for dollars, all right? So if you sleep 8 hours a day, you got another 56 hours that you are, again,
so go
all right?
I've
got the numbers for you. You don't even need to do the math. 8 hours a day. And I say this, guys, when I was broke, I couldn't afford to sleep 8 hours a day. All right. I say that if you're broke, you have no business sleeping 8 hours a day, because you can earn another 7 hours per week. But I'm going to leave it at 8 hours per day. All right. Let's be healthy, whatever. 10 hours between bathing, preparing, and commuting back and forth per week. Right. 10 hours per week between all that, give or take. And then 7 hours eating. All right. I'm just, guys, that's still, and even if I'm a little off, that still gives you extra 55 hours per week for family time. And what else? How much time of this are you investing in your business? Guys, I don't watch television.
No.
TV is a time villain. The only time I watch television is when I sit down to eat, and I eat fast. Anyone who knows me knows I eat fast, and I watch television because the TV's on, right? My mother-in-law, she's, we're always in the kitchen. The TV's right there. So, and the only TV programs that I watch is what?
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. I love to know about businesses. I'm always looking for, I love watching entrepreneurs, right? So look at this, guys. 55 hours you've got left, right? You decide how many hours you're going to invest from your business. We all have time. If you just say you don't have time, what you have is excuses, all right? Because 55 hours a week, that's, give or take 5 hours a day to family time, whatever. Invest 1 hour a day. But guys, work when you're networking. Work, get serious about your work, because it's not a hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, like we all know, we're going to get hobby results, and hobby costs money, right? I don't treat this like a hobby. I'll talk about this in a minute, but according to a news report, USA adults are watching 5 hours and 4 minutes of TV per day. That's 35.5 hours per week, right? You want to know where that time goes. Average daily time spent on social media, 2022, 147 minutes, or 2 hours and 27 minutes per day. You add those two up, that's 52 hours and 5 minutes per day. I told you we have 55 hours left per week. 55 hours per week. Where's that going? Most of you are spending it, according to the reports, most of you are spending it on TV and social media. Guys, take that time and invest it wisely. But be aggressive, be intentional about where you're putting your
times that you're watching. They're not watching TV. They're in there. They're the ones that you're watching. They're the actors. They're the,
they're not watching TV. They're
making money.
They're making their lives, right? They're investing their time, right? So guys, you know what? When people talk to you about money, oh, the money, that's another excuse. I'm telling you, because we were broke when we got started years ago when Steve and Gina Merritt introduced us to this industry. We didn't have the money that we invested. The truth be told, I don't know how our credit card went through. I made a prayer and I crossed my finger. I had my chest puffed out because Steve didn't know me from a hole in the wall. I puffed my chest up like, yeah, how much is the biggest pack? He said, Mike, it's about $1,500. I'm like, all right, here's my credit card, run it through. And inside, I'm like, God, if you let this transaction go through, I promise I'm going to be so much better. I'm not going to be cursing so much. I'm going to be a better this, better that. Making all these promises. Whoop, the transaction went through. I'm like, thank you, Lord. This is meant to be. And I remember going outside and Sahi telling me, what are we going to do with all this product? I said, I don't know, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. People are doing it. We're going to do it too. That was my attitude. It's all attitude. It's all right here. And we went out there and I put that much weight on me and that much, what was the word? Commitment. Because guys, I wanted to do this. And to me at the time, that was like $100,000 investment. And the good thing and the problem with this business is that you can build it with $500. You can build it under $2,000. That's the good thing and the bad thing. Why? Because sometimes that's, whatever. For some people, it's a roll of the dice, whatever. If this was a business that you had to invest $100,000, we would have less people, but we would be a lot more quality people. Everyone who would come in would treat this business the way it needs to be treated in order to win. The reason why such a small percent of people win in this business is because such a small percent of people really treat it like a multi-million-dollar business.
And
Point, period, blank.
Most brick and mortar businesses that you invest your time and you invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to make it successful take up to 3 years for any profit. So over here, you're talking about something risk-free, something that, you got to prioritize also the way we didn't have money back then. So you know what I did? I sold my jewelry. I probably didn't drink my coffee that I liked in whatever, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever it is. I sacrificed a lot of things, so that I can invest in myself, invest in ourselves, invest in the business, go to these conventions and get self-development. And then that's the way that we were successful. Again, no secret.
Guys, so like I said, it's never about money for people, because like she said, people are investing and spending, blowing the same kind of money that they say they don't have to build this business on dumb things, right? On things that they like, I should say, which we don't consider to be smart, which is, like she said, Starbucks, going out, drinking every weekend, hanging out, dinners and whatever. The same amount of money they say they don't have for this, they're blowing in other things. So it's not a lack of money, it's always a lack of priorities. But again, it's not my job to tell those people this. It's my job to recognize this and move on and find people like us who are willing to make the sacrifices needed to get their family to where they want to go. Point, period, blank. So I usually tell people that have no money, say, listen, I drive a Range Rover, all right? Or we have a big, beautiful home. But usually I use my car or my watch as an example, right? 40, 50, 60, $100,000 item. I say, if I can sell you if I would sell you this car, if I would sell you this watch, if I would sell you this house right now for $2,000, you say you don't have money. I tell you, you got to get this money within 24 hours if you really want to buy it. Would you buy it? And right away, like, yeah. Why? Because their brain right away starts going into places and ways that they can make this money. Like us, whether it was go out there, I can go out there and pick up garbage in nice neighborhoods and sell it, pawn jewelry. So your mind is going into things right away because now it's something you see and something you want. You're not seeing this business. They're not seeing this business like that. And that's their problem. All right. So I can just tell you that it's never about money. It's always about priority. All right. So time, PhD, money. All right, so we covered all this here. All right. So guys, the time that we are investing instead of watching television is on communicating with folks. All right. 331. I love that. Who cannot communicate with 3 people per day? The last people I just sponsored, I was backing up the other day. We were going to a restaurant like we're going to go to today. This is where we're going to drive by the swap shop. Just a little reminder to keep us, plugged in and keep us driving, right? We drive by and we were backing up at our house, and our neighbor, one of our neighbors who we had never met, was walking. I wasn't paying attention, even though I got the rear view camera. I wasn't paying attention, and I noticed I got a little close to him. I didn't let him go when I should have given him the right of way. And when I went back, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I wasn't, I should have let you go. I didn't pay attention. He's like, no, he didn't know me. He's like, no worries. It's okay. I was like, no, I really, really apologize. Right. So I see that he was walking with his knee wrapped up, and he was limping a little bit. And I said, after I apologized, whatever, I said, hey, what's wrong with your knee? He's like, oh, you know what? I don't know. The last 4 days, I'm a professional golfer and I have a tournament tomorrow, and I haven't been able to really walk, and tomorrow's a tournament. I don't want to miss it. And, I figured I'm just going to ice it and go out for a walk. I can't miss this tournament. So there was my opportunity, guys. I said, listen, you know what? Hold on one second. I pull back into my driveway. I run home. I get 3 patches of X39. I come out. I said, listen, look at my patch right here. This thing is just doing wonders for people, reactivating stem cells, helping people with pain. Where would you say the pain is? And I put it right by his knee. This guy calls me 30 minutes later. Mike, I don't know what you just gave me, but I'm running around my house right now. I'm pain-free. I sponsored him and his wife the very next day, because the next day he put the second patch on his wife. And listen,
wrist issues, like her wrist.
Yeah, her wrist was bad. And he said in 15 minutes, her wrist pain was gone. I put the patch on at 8 o'clock at night. And I said, tomorrow at 9, you're going to take it off. Then you're going to go 12 hours. I don't wait. Oh, put it on tomorrow morning. No, I patch you on the spot. Your first day, I don't care. I'll put you on this patch for 24 hours.
That gives us a clue. It is like this person's not probably not going to use them when we give it to them. So we're not going to waste our prized possession, because
if you don't let me patch you, I'm not giving you patches.
No.
But the very next day he calls me up. He's like, Mike, where do I buy this stuff? This stuff is amazing. And then I said, do you have a second so we can talk? He said, yeah, call me. And I call him up. I said, listen, I just want you to know this might or might not be for you, but there's an amazing business opportunity behind this. We're making this kind of money. We've made millions in this industry. And listen, again, I'm not going to prejudge, but I'm just going to give it to you. And you decide if maybe this is something for you. He says, you know what? Can you come over my house right now? We went over and we signed them up. We had just met them the night before I almost hit him with my car. 331. If you're not doing it, guys, listen, it's because you're not really taking it as serious. You're not investing the time, because we can go out every day. And like she said, there's enough people in this world, in your city, in your town, worldwide, to go out there and be able to do this 331.
And make friends everywhere, like make it intentionally going out there to meet new people and friends. And maybe you're not going to tell them right away. Maybe it might take you a couple of times to see that person, you know, and build a little relationship with them. You know, it's all about how you see the person, how the conversation flows. There's not a script. Is how you feel people out.
Yep. So yeah, 331 guys, we are constantly on social media. I was out of social media for 7 years. People are seeing me now, and guess what? I don't care how long I haven't spoken to you for, right? I'm reaching out, hey, how you doing? How's the family? What's going on? Whatever. And every single day, guys, I've been talking to some people that I signed up 3 months later. I've been 4 months in the business now. I am still talking to people that I started 4 months ago that are still staying plugged in, right? That they haven't signed up yet. I haven't given up. Some people, guys, need up to 21 times. Studies have shown over 21 times of follow-up before they decide to make a decision. Some of you are talking to them 1 time, 2 times, and like, oh, that's not going to go anywhere. No, guys, you need to understand people. You need to study, right? And this is what we've learned. I look up all these studies. That's how this high school dropout is becoming a professional in this industry. We need to be in the profession of people, right? So commitment, guys. So many people come in with a short-term vision, right? Guys, you need to look at this business as long-term. There's no business, again, that you can start from scratch and become very successful in 1 to 2 weeks, 1 to 2 months, right? It took us a long time to get successful in our first business. Now, because of what we did in the past, we've been able to build the business as quick as we have, because we already put in the time. We already put in our 10,000 hours, right? So commitment. Many times people come in and like, all right, how many people do I need to sign up to get to this?
Yes. We hear that a lot.
And it's over. It's like you asking me if I was your dietitian, how many salads do I need to eat before I lose my 80 pounds? How many curls do I need to do at the gym before I get my big arms? Guys, no, those people don't have the right mindset. We need to understand that this is a business. That's why I said, if you invested $100,000 into a franchise, are you expecting to be at $100,000 worth of profit a year or a month, whatever, within the first couple months? Some of us in this team, we've only been around 4 months and already getting discouraged. Guys, it took us a long time in our first business. Remember, everyone we spoke to initially were no. So we learned that we needed to go out there and talk to people. I was talking to people. They weren't listening to us because we needed to develop skills. We need to learn how to, approach folks. And here's the thing, guys. This is a self-development course. This business is a self-development course. If you're not reading, some of the time that you need to invest here is not just talking to people, but working on yourself. In the last in the last 4 months, these are some of the books that I've read. Every single day I'm listening. I'm more about audios, right?
Yeah.
I read too slow. I'm a high school dropout,
So
right?
in the car, wherever, we are always putting out an audio.
Yeah, I spend very little time even on listening to music. Even though I like to listen to music, I like motivational music. But in the last 4 months, I've listened to in my audiobooks. I've got the Audible program where every single month I pay for a new Audible book. But in the last 4 months, I've listened to Millionaire Next Door, The Ultimate, Outliers, As a Man Thinketh, The 10X Rule, Be Obsessed or Be Average, Awaken the Giant Within, Hung by the Tongue, and not to mention that every day I make it a thing to listen to the Bible. All right. So these are the things that you need to invest in, guys. If you're not reading, if you're not developing yourself, guys, you are not growing your business. Look, you can't grow a big business. You can't grow a big team. You can't grow a big bank account until you grow yourself. That's just a point, period, blank statement. All right. We need to invest time on growing, learning at this business. Okay. So the people that you surround yourself with, right? We've heard this, the 5 people you surround you. So I started learning about these things because I'm surrounding myself with people like Steve Gina, Onyx Coale, and other leaders, people who had what we wanted in the industry, right? That's how we became aware of these type of books. And I became passionate about reading and, well, not reading, but listening to these audio books, even though reading too, right? But I became passionate with self-development, guys. You need to become passionate about this because this is what's going to help you grow. People that I knew, right? The people, my cousin, one of them telling me, Mike, when they came to me with their objections, this business, that, this industry, this. And I would come to them with right away answers because this is my cousin, someone who I felt like I'll invest some of my time and energy trying to overcome some of these brain obstacles that he's got, right? Even though you don't want to convince or change anybody. But a couple of times, some of my family members, I'm like, hey, no, but it's this, no, but it's that. And when they saw how I responded to everything, how I see everything, they told me, Mike, oh my God, I can't believe it. You remember?
Yeah.
You've been brainwashed.
Yeah.
You've been brainwashed, Mike. I said, you know what? You're right. I've been brainwashed. I've been washed of the pessimistic ways, of the negative ways, and all the things that held me back. I've been washed. And my friend, you need a good washing too. Yeah. Right? Yep. So guys, this brainwash came from what? From washing away all the ways that held me back in life and putting in new stuff, new books, new relationships. Okay. So this is one key to being fired up and staying fired up, guys.
Excitement is contagious, guys. If you're, you don't have any sort of like emotional, you got to kick it up a notch. You got to be excited. They got to see what you got and that is really making you giving you all sorts of feelings inside. Because I mean, this product, it is amazing. Everybody who's here, you've had some type of testimonies because we get testimonies every day about things that have made us cry, just all sorts of testimonies. So man, you can't be selfish. You got to go out there and share this with people. People need this. So, and you have the cookie, like I said, you have it.
So guys, like I said, the books, right? So what's the key for us staying fired up all the time? Guys, I'm constantly listening to these books, which always keep me going, keep me positive, right? Keep me fired up. I'm constantly going. I don't care what Zoom it is. On our anniversary, we were sitting down on a dinner table, and I heard Steve Gina give us a shout out for our anniversary. And I texted him, thank you for the shout out. It was our anniversary. We're sitting down every single birthday, every my son's birthday. We are plugged in, right? And listen, you don't need to be extreme. Balance it's important. But for us, again, coming from where we come from, it's important for me to stay plugged in, and that's what keeps me fired up. The books, the Zooms, the meetings. If you are not getting constant testimonies within your business, within your team, you're not doing the necessities. You're not doing the important things. Getting testimonies every day, fire me up. If you're doing the 331, you're getting constant testimonies. Testimonies fire me up. Testimonies will fire you up every day and keep you going. That's why I watch all these things. Your testimonies, your team's testimonies fire us up. So guys, you need to understand one thing. We are a creature of habits. The habits that you have got you to where you are today. The habits that we had prior to being in this business got us to where we were at that time. We don't know what's going on in these new programs. There's so many shows that I don't even know how to mention one. I can't even mention a program to you. I didn't even know that there was a hurricane headed our way until Steve told me, because I don't watch television, right? I'm creating new habits. We are creature of habits, all right? If you want new things in your life, create new habits. That's why I'm talking about all these books. That's why I'm saying 331. That's why I'm saying, you know, the Zooms, you know, the activities. These got to become your new habits, guys. Going out there anytime I have the time to sit down and watch TV. Nope, I'm going out there, and those are my new habits. And that's what we did in the past to get us to multi-millionaires, right? And we had been out of the industry for 8 years. So guess what? I got complacent. I got away from all that. So now I was back to the TV, whatever. As soon as we decided to do this, I told her the only way we're going to succeed is if we hit this business like we hit it when we were broke. Mm-hmm. You know, I have Renita and Scott will tell you, they had called me in the past and introduced us to a couple of other businesses. And some things, you know, I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I'm comfortable, I told her. And I remember she got me on the phone with one of the corporate guys. And I said, you know, that I know him from the past business. And I told him, he kind of talks like this, you know, whatever. And for those of you who might know who I'm talking about, you know, discipline done daily, create, you know, whatever. So I said, you know what? I'm comfortable. I don't have that drive that I had back then because we're comfortable now. So when we started this business, I told her, listen, we're comfortable now. And the only way we're going to succeed and have the kind of success that we had in the past is if we hit it like we hit it when we didn't have two nickels to rub together. So it meant going back to those old disciplines. And that's what we did. And that's how we got here. We didn't come here with a team. We didn't have a team. We didn't have a team to bring. We didn't have a team. We haven't brought anyone that came in with a team. But we hit this like we hit it when we were broke.
But before we had, for those 8 years, we also had not gotten into anything because we had not found the product that was revolutionary like this, that was unique, that really freaking lived up to its name, that fired us up, that you know, gave us so many freaking testimonies every day like this one, because that's the reason why we're in this, and we decided to run as hard as we can, because we know that, you know, people who decide to do this are going to be part of taking this company to $1 billion, and we're going to be part of it.
Amen. Amen. So guys, creature of habits, new habits. It takes 21 days to create a new habit. 21 days. If you can go 21 days doing what you decide to do today, because this business is all about a decision, making a decision and sticking to it. Thank God I have a lot of discipline. She'll tell you, I'm the most disciplined person you'll ever meet in your life. Right? I wish I have the body right now that I have now when I was 25, but I didn't have the discipline when I was 25. But I knew as I got older, I wanted to, and the discipline came from the fact that I wanted more for my family, right? And I found something that we can actually do it in, and now you have it too. 21 days. So guys, we are creatures of habits, and we are being influenced, regardless of whether or not you realize it. We are people who are influenced, but we need to decide who we're going to be influenced by. You're being influenced by people around you, by the things that you watch, the TV and everything else. I just decided a long time ago, you know what? Again, new folks, new influence. So who's influencing you guys? All right. You are going to either influence people or people are going to influence you. I decided I'm going to influence people because I'm being influenced by the right people, right? Choose what I was willing. All right. When I met Steve Gina Merritt, I know we got 11 more minutes. We got to run through this. When I met Steve Gina Merritt, at the time in our first business, they had been in the business for 6 months and they were making $17,000 a week. And I told them, and I told her, I'm willing to work 10 times harder to make 10 times less. I'm willing to work 10 times harder to make 10 times less. That's the attitude. That's the attitude you got to have, guys. All right. If you don't have constant new stories, testimonies, we got them. Be obsessed with winning your family and your dreams. Okay. We spoke about that.
Have your why, because your why is what's going to keep you going. You got to think about who's going to lose if you don't make this happen. If you're fearful of going out there and talking to people, if you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable, who's losing? Your kids, your family, you know, who's going to be in that position, you know, to lose. And so then that's what keeps us fired up. So you got to make it a thing to do that. We also we write things down. We have a check of how much we're gonna, before when we were in our past business, we put a check in the refrigerator that we're gonna make $1 million signed by the owner of the company. When we made that $1 million, we took it off, we put, now we're gonna make $5 million. We hit that, we took it off, and now when we started, which is, I think I went too low, but we're gonna make $10 million in this company. I have the check in my refrigerator. I look at it every day.
Go get it while I say this, all right? Because she wrote that, all right? Because we got to see it every day to keep us going, right? So guys, success comes from going to failure without losing enthusiasm. Success comes from going from failure to failure, no, without losing enthusiasm, all right? Be mentally prepared. People quit, all right? This is just part of the business. People are going to quit. You're going to get rejections. Look at this. All right. You can do it like this. She doesn't want to show the bank account. $10 million signed David Schmidt to payable to Mike and Sahi Hernandez in our refrigerator. This is the kind of things that drive us every day. Instead of watching TV, that's what we're working for.
Make your dream board. Put the cars that you want to get. Yep. Go to the dealership and look at the car that you want. And all those things, because those things will come. You just got to work at it.
So success goes from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm, guys. Be mentally prepared. Look, you can't lose the enthusiasm in your excitement when people quit. People don't quit on you, they quit on themselves, right? They weren't committed to begin with. Rejections, you're going to have rejections. This is part of the business. Be okay with that, all right? It's just, you're not going to be successful in anything in sales without rejection, all right? And there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. It's okay. Be mentally prepared for that. But stay plugged in and know where to go ahead and get recharged, where to get your enthusiasm back. The books, the Zooms, the meetings, right? And finally, guys, look, you're going to suffer from the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. That's something I learned a long time ago. We're going to deal with some sort of pain, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline comes with, look, you're going to do things right now that are going to be out of your comfort zone. You want to go and watch TV. That's fun. You want to go out and, you know, spend your money doing things that aren't productive for you. You know, you're used to it. Or it's going to come from the regret 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 years from now, where you're still stuck in the same place because you didn't make a discipline to change your ways. So look, right now, you got to think about it this way, right? You're going through a pain right now. Everyone is, because most of you who are working don't want to get up early and go to work, but you do it every day and it's a pain in the butt. You're dealing with that pain, right? Your money, your financial situation is a pain. I'm telling you because that's where we were, all right? Money was a pain. I not being able to give my son and my family, you know, things that they wanted, man, that's painful, right? So am I going to deal with this pain of discipline or the pain of regret? Your lack of wants and needs is a pain. The challenges that come along with this business is a pain, right? So you're going to need to make you're going to need to make a decision. You're going to either deal with the pains of growing pains of you personally growing as a person, or you're going to deal with the pain of regret. 4 or 5 years from now, look, our son, like I said, he is where he is. He is where he is because of the commitments that we made, right?
What if we would have said no to that opportunity when Steve and Gina brought it to us? What would have been of us now? 16 years ago? What if 4 months ago we would not have said yes to this and decided to run with this? We wouldn't have had all the testimonies, all the people that are making money with this, including us, and like all the trips that we've already won in this company. Like,
we just learned we won a trip to Italy. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't say that. Don't worry. Someone put it out there on live, and but anyway, we won 2 trips so far because I know we're going to Aruba, and we missed this one trip by like 7 days, right? But it's even better because I wanted to be here with you guys.
It's so amazing when it's a trip all paid for. Like it's and you're mingling there with all the, you know, successful people. It's fun. It's great. It's amazing. I'm telling you.
So guys, like I said, understand that you're going to deal with a discipline regret, a discipline of doing the job. It's better to just get it out the way and, you know, build these new habits and deal with the growing pains right now that you're going to go through, so that in life you can have everything you want. Then nothing is a pain. And look, money isn't everything in life. Money is not the most important thing in life, and we know this, but it affects the most important things in life. Our kid is today where he is because of the fact that we had money to put in the right places to live. Money is going to get you in the right communities, in the right school systems. It's going to allow you to put the right food in your body, right?
You know, everything.
We feed our dogs nothing but grass-fed organic food, right? We couldn't do that if we didn't have money, right? Not to mention, you know, our family. We want to put the best nutrients, the best things in life, unfortunately, are affected by how much money you have. So money is pretty important, right? It's not the most important thing up there, but it's almost right up there with air. I've heard that in the past, right? So, and understand, guys, listen, you're going to sign up people a year from now, 6 months from now, a month from now, a week from now. The last person I signed up, I didn't know him last week. I met him as I was hitting reverse. So you just got to stay fired up. You got to stay plugged in. You got to stay, you know, driven and committed to doing the do's, guys. And the reason why I'm this passionate again comes from where my past comes from, guys. All right. So I don't mean to be aggressive. I just know that everyone can do this.
Yes. If we did it, you can do it.
You can do this, guys. It just takes determination. It just takes you making that decision and sticking to it.
And the momentum is now. With a product that's amazing, with all these leaders willing to help you and hold your hand, with, you know, with all these Zooms that are going around, with this product that is out of this world. You know, people wish they had this in their hand. We have it. We have it. It just takes you.
That's it.
It just takes you.
So guys, listen, I think go prepare an international about me. So yeah, go out there intentionally every single day,
Stay
guys.
recruiting.
This business is about recruiting. You never stop recruiting. You got to become a professional recruiter, professional conversation starter. All right. And
there will be a time when things, you know, when things will flow because you have enough people in the business helping you. So it'll be like, what's that quote? 1% of
yeah. You rather have 1% of 100 people than 100%. You rather benefit from 1% of 100 people than 100% of your own. All right.
But so, you'll have that. You'll develop it. Then it's a team working together. So your time will be, you know, it'll be smoother. You'll have more time. You know, it's just mindset.
So guys, listen, write your goals every single day. See where you can look. I wish you can see. I have a huge whiteboard. I have a dream board.
Make your checks.
Yeah. Stay plugged in.
You know, always have your why. Stay plugged in into this X39. Start X39. You know, stay watching these Zooms. Even if you don't have people to watch them, you know, get fed, because we need to get fed. You know, the world is tough out there, you know.
The world will beat you up if you're not ready and prepared for it. But this is how we get bulletproof. This is how we go out there every single day looking to conquer the world. But it's because we're feeding ourselves the right stuff. All right. So guys, listen.
Everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it. We believe in you, and we say that from the center of our soul. Because if we did it, we know anyone can do it. That's why I believe God has blessed us so that we can go out there and encourage you guys that if a couple that was picking up garbage, a couple that didn't know what this industry was, can do it by simply following the system, following the leaders, and being committed to ourselves and our goals and our dreams. And guys, every one of you can do it.
Whatever it takes, doing whatever it takes.
So
that's good. Whatever it takes, that's good.
Right? So listen, thank you very, very much for your time. We're coming right up to the hour. I'm glad that we were able to get all this information out to you. Stay plugged in, guys. We hope to see you out there real soon. We've got meetings coming up here in Orlando. Yes. I'm sorry, in Fort Lauderdale next week. We want to see you there. We want to see your people there. Have them come up to us, talk to us. We don't care what team they're from. We're going to encourage them. We're going to empower them, and we're going to tell them exactly what it takes to win. We believe in you. We love you. God bless you. Guys. Have a great weekend. Yes. And listen, go out there and let's patch the world one person at a time. Woo! Love you.